Bismillah. Welcome to this recording. This video is for part 5, the main material. In part 5 of our course, Modern Literary Movements, we'll speak here about modern schools of interpretation. Previously, we have studied the cultural movements, literary periods, and the cultural movements. In this part, we are going to speak about schools of interpretation. This is part of this literary movement, how literature is interpreted, how literature is explained, and we have more than one point of view, more than one school. If we start with this question, what do you think? Literary criticism is just to say if a literary work is good or bad. Do you think this is correct? Or you agree with this or you don't agree? Of course, because here we have just no. Literary criticism can say a work is good or bad, but also it has to explain it. This is why we say this is interpretation explanation. If you remember the definition of literary criticism we had at the beginning of the course, that literary criticism is what? The study, evaluation, and interpretation of literature. So it studied, evaluate, says good or bad, and also it interprets, gives an explanation for this work. Second question, what are the spheres or circle of the literary work? In the literary work, it is surrounded by more than one circle. Okay, what do you think are these circles? If we say that this is the work here, we have more than one area around it. We are going to see it now. Yes. Here, the literary work, the first circle of the literary work is the text itself. So this is the text of the literary work. This is the first circle. Then we have the author of the literary work. Then we have the life, the social, the historical and social circumstances in which we have the text. Okay, so how to analyze a work? This is, for example, a classical book that will have some poem written by William Shakespeare. If I have one of these poems, how can I analyze this poem? We have, according to the three circles, I can focus only on the first circle. This is the text, okay, here, and this is what we call textual analysis. Analyze only the text, the meter, the rhythm, the metaphors, how the lines are there, the language of the text. Or I can move to the second circle, which we said there was the author, and here we are speaking about psychological analysis of the text. We analyze it from the psychological point. Or I can have the third sphere or circle analysis, and this is life, and here we're speaking about social, political, and historical. So there are three levels of analyzing the literary work: textual analysis, psychological analysis, social, political, historical analysis. In other words, textual analysis, I focus only on the text. Psychological analysis, I focus on the writer and the character from a psychological point, as people. Or I can look at the social, political, historical circumstances of the literary work. Okay? This is a question for your opinion. Which one do you think is more valuable or appropriate? Textual analysis, psychological analysis, or the last one, social, political, historical analysis. Of course, here there is no correct answer. It's up to you. Okay, this is why we are going to have different schools that are grouped under each of these categories. Okay, here these are modern schools of interpretation. We have three groups: textual analysis, this is one group; psychological analysis, another group; historical, political, and social analysis, the third group. And under each group, we have some schools that appeared and finished, and some of them are still up till now. So the first question we have in this part, this is um, listing question. What are the schools of textual analysis? And this is the answer. We have 7 schools that are classified as textual analysis. Okay, Russian formalism, and from its name, it comes from four. In Arabic, we call it الشكلانية الروسية, Russian because it appeared in Russia first. Okay, and formalism because they focus on form, and this is text. Okay, the same school appeared in America in 2 places. One of them was called Cambridge School, and the other Chicago School, and these are 2 versions of formalism. Then a third, the biggest school of textual analysis that appeared in America was New Criticism. The same ideas or similar ideas from formalism, okay, appeared now in a school. We call it New Criticism. Why we call it New Criticism? Although it appeared and ended many years ago, because it was a new form of looking at textual or the text. Then we have structuralism, another school that appeared later, okay, and from it comes from the word structure. We call in Arabic al-Bunyawiyya. Then we have many groups or many schools, and we group them under one heading, calling them post-structuralism. ما بعد البنيوية. Then the school of textual analysis, which is currently working, we call it deconstruction. It's completely different from structuralism. We're going to have more details, but I'm just explaining the naming of the schools. Deconstruction comes from structure and deconstruction, and we call it in Arabic at-tafkik. So these are the 7 schools of textual analysis. In exam, when you are asked what are the schools of textual analysis, we are to mention at least 5 of these schools. And of course, as we said before, dates are not important, just to give us historical setting. The second question, what are the schools of psychological analysis? The group. And here we have 4. One of them is general. We call it psychoanalytic criticism. And then we have 3 schools named after 3 psychologists, scientists, or famous. The first one, Freudian criticism, named after Freud, a famous psychologist. Jungian criticism, named after Jung, and Lacanian criticism, named after the psychologist Lacan. So these are 4 schools to be mentioned when we answer what are the schools of psychological analysis. Third question, what are the schools of social, political, historical analysis? And here we have also 4 main schools. Feminist criticism, called in Arabic Naqd al-Nasawi. Marxist criticism, named after Karl Marx. New historicism, they call it in Arabic التاريخانية الجديدة, because it looks at history. Okay, then we have queer theory, we call it in Arabic النظرية الغرائبية. This is the theory or the school that deal with literature written by and about the current phenomena about homosexuality and these issues.